So hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. Normally you would find me stood in front of the camera doing the intro, but today would you just look at that view. You join me, Gabby and Mitzi on the banks of Esthwaite, a brand new water for me. We're up nice and early like you've seen on the video, and we've made our way to the beautiful Lake District. We spent a bit of time setting up. As you can see, we're going to be sat in the water today, and what a view. You've got all the beautiful mist coming off the hills. It's been a really foggy start to the morning, but yeah, in the early morning, you know, people question why would you be an angler, and I say why wouldn't you? Just look at it. We've got an osprey nest opposite. There's plenty of wildlife. We've got the beautiful Mitzi. It is quite deep here. You're talking 16 foot, literally about there, so you don't want to go walking out and then it drops down onto another shelf and then it evens out. So yeah, there's a lot of water to go at. The target today is one fish. If I get a fish from here, I'll be proper made up. If you look at the size of the water, it's absolutely huge. The hope is for bream, but at this moment I'll take anything. I'm just going to enjoy my day and I'll bring you along with me. So let's get on the seat box and make a start. We're sat on the box now. We've got a lovely little fence next to us, and Gary made a good point before. I wonder how many people have rested the net on that fence and sat here. It's one thing to think about, isn't it? But they've definitely shared a beautiful view, haven't they? So time is of the essence because there was a few diversions today. It's about 11 o'clock when we're getting on the box. Having a look at the side tray, we've got plenty of ground bait, and we've mixed up the same mix with me and Gary. You can see it is super secret Esthwaite mix. So I'm sure if you ask me nicely in the comments, I'll tell you. But for now, I'm not allowed. I'm sworn to secrecy. But there is a bit of a hinders twist in there. That's all I'm saying. Looking at the side tray, we've got plenty of pellet, which we're going to put through the mix, hopefully to get them bream in. The mix that I'm going to put in the feeder, hinders hemp and corn. We've got plenty of worms and red maggot, which I'm going to start with this on the hook just to get a gauge what's in the swim. Looking at the swim, I don't know if you can see the buoy that's there right in front. I'm lining up with that, and to begin with I've put about 7 or 8 feeders in like you can see on screen now, just capped with that mix, and I've put 1 or 2 with maggot in as well just to get a better bait down there. And I'm going to begin on 5-minute casts just to get some bait down there in that early bit of the session. It's a big water and my mindset's going to be a bit like the reservoir. Let's get some bait down there and try to track some fish into our area. There's a decent drop on the feeder. You're talking probably 10 to 15 seconds. It's hit the bottom. Just going to tighten up gently to it. And so we're not going too far out. I'm just going to tighten up nice and gently to that feeder. I'm just looking for any. There's an indication there straight away. There's definitely something down there. And that's a fish on the first cast. It's only a small one, it feels like. And on a water this big, it's definitely a confidence boost. One thing it does let me know though is that the bait's got down to the bottom and there's bait down there. And what a confidence boost that is. On a water this big, any fish was going to be a bonus. A lovely marked perch. So we're on the very next cast. I've gone out there with maggot again and just tightening up, getting indications all the time. And there we go, there's another one. So I'm going to have to hold this guy over the keep net. He's a bit mad, but the second fish, and again, a lovely perch. So tactics wise, I'm just going to keep rinsing, repeating, going out there with that feeder, with hemp, caster and corn, and that triple maggot on the hook. It's quite clear there's quite a few fish out there. That's perch number 3 in 3 casts. So there's definitely a few fish out there. And yeah, we have a very nice net of perch at the end if we carry on. So I don't know whether or not the camera's just picked that up, because I set the camera up behind me, but the rod nearly got pulled off the rest and something's taking it on the way down. It feels a decent fish. If it's a perch, it's going to be a really nice one. Only on the £3 hook link, and we'll take a look at the setup in a minute, but yeah, putting up a fight, whatever it is. It's beginning to feel a bit trouty, if I'm honest. But yeah, well worth the money already just for that. Seeing the rod nearly go off the rest. And it is a trout. So he's had a good rest in the edge and been trying to pick him up. And he's going a bit mad. But what a lovely battle that was on a light rod. Nearly pulled the rod off the rest. And great fun. So as you've seen there, we've had plenty of those perch and the swim did go a bit quiet. I've just had a bite and I said to Gary straight away, this feels a little bit different, and we finally made contact with the target species, and that is the target species, and I'm thoroughly enjoying fishing the feeder and the float on the river for these bream. And today, who couldn't be excited by these surroundings? And it is just good fishing at the moment. I'm casting in and that tip's just going round straight away. The good thing about big venues is when you get on them, you can get a few bites. And what a lovely perch that is. And like I say, when you get on them on these venues, you can have some good fishing. I do apologise for the lighting. It is quite a dull day and we are underneath the trees. But like we know with Daddy's angling blog, it's about real fishing. So just added a piece of worm on to the maggots. And the tip's gone round with this lovely roach. So taking a look at the setup, it is my Corum 1.25 pound all-rounder quiver rod. I've teamed that up with one of the Zelos reels, and on there I've got £6 line. I've got the 1 ounce tip in the end. Looking at the business end, I've got a float stop, then a feeder bead. On there I've got a 40 gram hex feeder. I then got a loop to loop just to kick that feeder out, a £3 hook link and a size 12 hook. And moving over to worm, every so often you just get one of those better bites, and this one was heading into Gary's swim at the time. Almost certainly I think going to be one of the trout, but they are the little exciting things during the day that do take you by shock, because you're catching perch and then all of a sudden a big flapping trout comes about. And I imagine there's some people that pay a lot of money to go out on here on boats to catch these on the fly. They're missing a trick with double maggot and a worm. And just before we're about to have a bite to eat for dinner, the second bream coming to the net. What a beautiful view. We've had plenty of bites. It's time for me to have a bite. I'm going to keep on casting, obviously keep some bait going in. But yeah, what a beautiful few hours it's been. Loads of perch, a few bream, Mr. Roach, and a few trout. So into the afternoon now after dinner, I'm going to make a couple of changes. I've upped the amount of corn in the mix, and I've put quite a bit more hemp in there as well. And we know we've got quite a lot of perch in front of us, but hopefully it's going to help me target those bream a bit more as well. Going to up the amount of pellet that I'm putting in. So with dinner down the hatch, and I did keep on putting the bait in, the first cast after it, it's just gone round with a better fish, most definitely. And you know straight away when you're into one of those slightly better ones. And this morning when we started, bream was the target, and I said I'd hope for one, and that counts as one. That's getting on there for the slabba-dabba-doo. And after one or two perch, like you've seen on screen now, that tip has gone round, and it feels a bit breamy. The sun's come out and being treated to a beautiful day by the bank. There's a gentle breeze coming in, and that ripple is beautiful, and we've managed to catch another one of these beautiful bream. I say another one because the last one missed the keep net, so there is one missing in there. Just how it can change, isn't it? And just by changing those tactics, results can change, and that's one of the things that I am learning with feeder fishing now. You know, what you can do just to change the results by what you put in the feeder. And that's what we want to see. The snot down the line and a slabba-dabba-doo in the net. In absolutely amazing condition. And the very next cast, it's gone round again with another bream. At the moment, it feels like one or two are in the swim. So the tip's gone round again, and the fishing is just so much more settled. I think Gary hit the nail on the head just this morning. It was like Pac-Man. You could feel the perch attacking the feeder on the way down. Now the feeder's getting to the bottom and you're just waiting for that gentle pull round. In lovely condition, but I guess with so many predators in here, like the pike and the perch and the cormorants that we've seen today and the osprey, I guess only the fittest survive. As the afternoon's going on, Gary is absolutely smashing it. He's on a bite of chuck, so go and check the video out on his channel because he really is getting into them. I'm coming into the last bit of the session now. The day just going a bit quiet, and that tip's just gone round with hopefully one more bream. And the beauty of fishing in the water, you can just unhook the fish at your feet and then do a quick blog of it in the water. And this is a form of fishing that I am very much still learning. The river we're fishing on the Weaver is fishing really well, which helps you learn quickly. But today I've learned loads on this water. That tip's gone round with probably the best fish of the day. It's a lovely looking bream. While I was playing that fish, you probably heard Gary laughing in the background because he could actually see the fish. And he was thinking, just get it in, it's a big one. I was chatting away like I do on the blog. The best bream of the session so far, and a lovely fish to end on. I really have enjoyed today. We'll have a couple more casts and we'll have a look at that final net. So the session does come to an end there now on a thoroughly enjoyable day on the bank. As you can see from the nets, we've had some lovely perch, roach and bream. Arriving at the venue, I said this morning I'd be happy with one fish. It's a huge venue and easily the biggest water that I've fished. To end up with those 2 nets of fish, proper made up. I really do hope you have enjoyed this week's video. If you have, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. And all that remains is to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and we'll catch you all next week. Sight lines.